New at 10, behind the beating, police in New Orleans make a plea in court, and more about the man who says they almost killed him.
We have to keep working on it like it's going to happen soon.
A special medical report, killer flu, what you need to know in case the bird flu hits.
And Chicago area Muslims pray for the victims of the deadly earthquake in Asia. The struggle continues tonight to get to the people who were buried alive. Good evening. I'm Diane Burns.
And I'm Antonio Mora. The earthquake toll is staggering. As many as 30,000 people dead. Tonight, local Muslims bowed their heads in prayer and remembrance at a mosque in northwest suburban Des Plaines. They collected donations for earthquake survivors, and they urged the White House to step up aid. 8 U.S. relief helicopters have just touched down in stricken Pakistan. CBS 2's chief correspondent Jay Levine reports on the rescue efforts and the sheer magnitude of the disaster.
It's hard to believe that all this happened in seconds, or that 2 days later there'd be so little being done to search for survivors. There were 600 students in this school when the quake hit, more than 50 in this bank, with nearly everyone still there. And it's more than just individual buildings.
This is my village. 100% nothing left. The Chor Miran, they all is gone. There's nothing left.
Each call they can get through from Chicago to Pakistan brings more bad news. The Abbasis know they lost more than a dozen relatives so far. A few miles away at World Vision Chicago warehouse, a relief effort is being mounted.
We provide buckets and collapsible containers for food or water storage.
Amber Johnson shows us what's on the way. The third time this year the church-funded organization has had to spring into action and raise more money to do it.
It has been an incredibly challenging year for World Vision, for other organizations, but it's also been a great year to see the compassion of the American people.
But men swinging sledgehammers can't win the race against time. The lack of shelter for survivors, even those badly hurt, is maddening. And World Vision and the others may well beat the locals here with desperately needed food and water.
You can find out more on what World Vision is doing on the web or by phone. We'll show you how on our website. CBS 2 is always on CBS2Chicago.com. But the bottom line here is that what we did or didn't do in the wake of Katrina was apparently no wake-up call for the Pakistanis, who are still trying to get to the disaster zone without much success. Antonio?
The main problem is that a lot of these places are not really very accessible.
Exactly. No main roads, really. The roads there are destroyed. They don't have the airlift capability to get things in. Those helicopters you talked about from the U.S. are key, but there are problems there with the U.S. being in an area where it's not very welcome. So terrible conflicts and a lot more to come in the days ahead.
Devastating. Investigators in DuPage County are counting on a reconstruction of a baby's face to identify the remains found over the weekend. The little boy was found on Saturday in a rural, unincorporated area between Naperville and Warrenville. The homes there are far apart. The coroner in DuPage County performed an autopsy but has not released the cause of death. Authorities expect to have a sketch in about a week. They desperately need a name.
We're still trying to find out the identity of this little boy who was dumped and left in a bag along the side of the road.
The boy, 3 years old, he has short black hair. He weighed about 30 pounds and was wearing a navy blue shirt with no collar and blue pants. His race could not be determined. The body was so decomposed.
A 21-year-old man is charged tonight after police say his 2-year-old nephew found a loaded gun and shot another little boy. The 4-year-old victim was at his babysitter's house in the Little Village neighborhood this morning when somehow the toddler got his hands on that weapon. Sylvester Ramirez, the 2-year-old's father, says he has no idea where the gun came from, but police have charged Juan Ramirez, the 2-year-old's uncle, with several firearm violations. Police say both children were victims.
We have not been able to have somebody from the right personnel from youth to come over and do a witness-sensitive interview with the child, because as you can understand, a child like that is also traumatized with an incident like this, and in my opinion, they're also a victim.
21-year-old Ramirez is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow. The injured 4-year-old is expected to be okay.
Bond was set for a Chicago doctor accused on a bus that turned up crystal meth at his condo on the near north side. Helmut Allard is charged with possession of a controlled substance and failing to register 2 firearms. Police at the Town Hall District say they confiscated 16 grams of methamphetamine and 2 loaded guns. Bond was set at $50,000. That man recently moved here from Goshen, Indiana, and was set to begin work at Mercy Hospital this month.
White Sox! White Sox! Go, go, White Sox!
With the White Sox ready to push for a pennant, some fans remember the last time the Southsiders were contenders.
Well, back then a songwriter came up with a little jingle that never really did catch on. But now it might be forced into the lineup. CBS 2's Dana Kosloff is live at the cell. And Dana, it's sort of a flashback, but can it make the hit parade?
Yep, that's true. Diane, you were actually wondering about this song last week, if I'm correct. And you can forget about the na-na-na, hey, goodbye song. This song has decades on that one and maybe a little luck.
Let's go, 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 White Sox! Chicago's proud of you. Wave on!
It's strangely catchy and may seem a bit outdated to some. That's because it is. The Go-Go White Sox song playing at the Cell this year is almost 50 years old, written by Captain Stubby and the Buccaneers in 1959. That's the last time the Sox went to the World Series.
This is my dad here, playing the musical washboard.
Connie Livingston is Captain Stubby, a.k.a. Tom Fout's daughter. She was a high school freshman when he wrote the song.
Oh, well, Dad would love it. He would just really enjoy the fact that that song is being played. It has a lot of energy.
If you haven't heard the White Sox song, but you have heard the Green Giant or Roto-Rooter jingles, you've heard Fout's work too. He died last year at age 85, leaving his mark as songwriter, entertainer, and all-around character.
He played a musical toilet seat, and he said, try to check that through security now.
White Sox! White Sox! Go, go, White Sox!
So how does it feel to hear her dad's song now, as a grandmother?
I've been reading different emails from people, and they say, we put it on all the time, and it's our good luck charm, so if it's a good luck charm, that's great.
Livingston says one member of the Buccaneers is still alive, and hopefully he will follow the team to the World Series, and the song will follow the team too, again. Of course, that quest continues right here at U.S. Cellular Field tomorrow. Antonio and Diane.
At wacky Captain Stubby.
Thanks, Dana.
Very cute, Dana. Thanks.
Well, perhaps no family has been more loyal to the Southsiders or more excited with the team's success than Chicago's first family, the Daleys. For generations, dating back to Mayor Richard J., the Daleys have experienced the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, as much through Sox wins and losses as through their political fortunes. And now there's a new line of Daleys. Little Eleanor Beneco was named for her widely beloved